Okay, we are here at the newly opened PropNex Family Zone. This is in Gardens by the Bay, and it's kind of near the Benjamin Sheares Bridge. So if you actually look behind, you're kind of right next to the MBS towers, right? So it's a really big children playground and play area. So let's walk through all the different areas. So it looks like this is for a lot younger children. So you can see the it's a lot smaller, right? So you can it's a small step to climb up, and I think the good thing is that it's actually shaded. So even when it's quite hot, you can actually come here. And you can see it's actually real sand, not like some of the other playgrounds. So real sand, they can play with the real sand, and then you got buckets there that they can play with. And then if we move over here, I think this is for slightly bigger kids. So it's 5 years old and above, and you've got this little rabbit character that says "Families for Life and Love." And so this is a rabbit-themed playground, very colorful. So you've got a climbing tower that is in the shape of a rabbit, and then you've got these little, puzzles, and this little rabbit. And there is like a little market over here. So this market, you can buy some fruits, I guess. So kids can actually pretend to be a cashier. There is a little climbing area that goes up into a slide. Again, it's shaded, so it's really good even though it's hot. I think this is a drum set. If you actually go down here, yeah, it's a drum set. So they can play and make music. Over here is a little car set, and then a little climbing area. These are steps with a horn, and then this is a little multiple person swing. Yeah. This area is actually more for younger kids, 2 years and above. And so there is a suspension bridge over here, so kids can actually jump right across. So you can see people are actually crossing the suspension bridge. So if I cross the bridge, it's quite stable, and it works well for almost anyone. Even young kids can do this quite easily because there's no holes. And then this is a sand play area. Again, it's shaded, so no problem. So this is another play area for 5 years old and above. So the first area is a kind of climbing, balancing. So you got to balance yourself and get across. But it's got the rubber padding on the floor, so it's easy for kids. The second area is this place that has what we call steps, right? You can just try to climb up, so you can climb up to the top, right? And then there's this hanging window, this frame that you have to get across. You got to get across a whole mountain, and after the mountain you have to cross a couple of stones. And then next we come to the biggest area. So this area It looks really tall, right? If you look upwards, wow. Right? Almost 2 or 3 stories high. And basically kids can climb up the entire rope inside. So once they climb up, they'll be able to cross across and come down the other tower. Right? So this is, and then of course there's a really tall 3-story slide over here. If you come up the hill, there's a little mini slide over here. And then this section is the flying fox. So you can just fly across. Right beside the playground seems to be a little garden area. I think this is where they plant different types of plants. So it's a community garden run by regular volunteers. So please do not look and smell and enjoy, but do not pluck and cut the plants. So I think they plant different types of fruits, you know, and there's a little bit of explanatory labeling for the types of plants here as well. So quite a nice garden area, slightly shaded, right? And then it's next to the lawn. So yeah, really nice. If you walk out from the garden area, so you've got a nice grass patch here, right? So you can see in the background the Supertrees, and then a lot of kids, now that it's school holidays, they are all playing some kind of frisbee here. So it's really nice, right? And then if you turn, you can see the bridge that goes into the Bayfront MRT, and of course Marina Bay Sands towers right behind. So right next to it there's this waterfront plaza, nice shady area. I think it's got some function rooms inside there. And if you walk a little bit, you go to this area that actually has some other attractions. So yeah, it seems like there's a Starbucks right here. And then people are having classes inside. So these are adult outdoor gyms. So people will be able to do their workouts in the outdoors. Right? And if you turn, you will see the Ferris wheel. And let's go on to see the rest of this playground. So the adult playground continues. So I think this is more for things like push-ups. You can do sit-ups, right? You can do monkey bar. Right, so it's like a whole challenge course, right? You can go all the way. You can do all this, climb all the way, see how high you can go. And then of course, come all the way here, and then you've got the arm bars as well, right? And then, this is a musical corner. So you can play xylophones and make musical instruments. Yeah. So you can play with drums, you can play with all the different musical instruments.